手背应该跟开放一样，这是有可能，又不是大的，是小的，或者我们需要再买更多小的。
这个可能回到一开始的问题，就是买设备并不是最困难的事情，是维护跟怎么让大家可以安全然后开放使用。就是当然我们都很希望让设备更 accessible， 但是有很多其他方面的考量会让这件事情就是一直举报下去。但这个是I think we are slowly making progress. Like things are better before, like some days before.
I actually think the university has a bigger problem, right? Because in a way, the equipment that we have is research oriented, right? So it's not geared towards undergraduate students and the way that they're going to be using those tools, right? But I actually think that we need to promote again earlier, right? If the students, in order to, how should I say this? The first step in craftsmanship is learning the tool, how to use it to make something formal, right? Then, when you have that ability, then you have the ability to creatively imagine how else you can use that tool. And I think right now, the facilities that we have are geared more towards that experimental stage, right? Where it's not really there for everyday use, it's there for a specific experiment or a task, right? So in a way, I think we need to think about it as separate things, right? One which is utilitarian, right, for practical application, and the one that's for experimentation.
I also like to, but undergraduate can do the experimentation also, right?
They can with guidance, right? But again, the undergraduate, they don't have experience, so they're not at the point where they can do experiments. If we give them, the first 3 years, they have all the opportunity to use the tools. Then by the time they get into their 4th year, if you want them to be able to experiment, then I think that's possible. Right? But right now, they're entering the 4th year with almost no experience, so all they can, if they can even do the basics, then that would be great.
Yeah, I'm taking the idea because even the CNC, we did do the human CNC before when I worked for Knox, and that does take a lot of geometry consideration. But I do think that the tool actually affects a lot of things. So if you let this tool available for students earlier, then I think we just wait to see how that goes, because it's the same it's like knife and scissors, right? Also you see the grasshopper and right. So the more application that they can be accessed, then maybe they can see the better future.
I think we are slowly going toward that purpose because we are now training students, like undergraduate students, to use CNC routers. So they maybe become future teacher assistants. So to train even more students to use that material, but it just takes years to have that large assistant space to train a larger user base.
Yeah, but you need more people to test, right? You need more people to test and see how that goes.
Yeah, so that's why we need to train some peer assistants. So in the future, we have more assistants. We can train even more user base, and then even more assistants, and even more user base. So it just takes years for the culture to do that.
Because I can see even in the 3rd year, lots of students actually take the double master, double major. I'm assuming that they think the design task is quite simple. So maybe we should be able to, maybe there's a space we can add some complexity. Right? So I see that what is the level 1, tier 1 more advanced skill that nowadays we can play with.
I mean, it's just like the second year we bring this facility training as a regular basis. So in the past, we train some graduate students to use energy. But right now, we try to train like undergraduate students with a larger scale as a regular basis. But it's really hard to maintain that habit because
they leave. Yes, gradually they leave.
Yeah.
So because the method we develop, it's like Frederick said in class. So the method you develop in the studio, you could actually let the student play with. It could be their result will be your result.
Your workshop,
is Yiqian suggesting in that workshop that if we add people add our year 1, year 2, year 3 people into this, then we might be able to see much better.
But this flow chart is another story. So it requires like computer science, practical computer science to maintain infrastructure. So that's a whole different story.
Yeah, but maybe they don't need to know someone.
They don't need to know.
They just end user, and then they use it, and then they will give back to you, say that what's working, what's not working.
Yeah, so I said this infrastructure behind the scenes. It doesn't need to be accessible to the student. But this infrastructure to support the ecosystem.
Okay. But Yiqian suggests a good point. Students are, this is your hardware or software infrastructure behind the scene. Actually, there's a group of people. Different year design pedagogy is behind the scene also. So if we combine, somehow they might create something new. We can all think about this.
I mean, it doesn't look exciting, right? So if they can actually undergo to use the tool just a little bit, and maybe they can, the outcome will be definitely different.
And the instructor to let them use them.
Oh, of course.
You say that because we're there, but before us, they couldn't even use the computer.
Yeah. But we're going to Mars right now, right? So time flies. Because I know all the robot experiments, most of them are translated from abroad, right? Either IDHA or CIA, GIS. So how about, so if actually students can maybe, there's no gate, they can actually access the tool. Maybe you can actually exporting something from here.
Yeah, I think that the difference is what right now is long instructor led rather than student led.
If we don't have the instructor, then the student won't do it either. Right? So this okay, but we will 我们会继续讨论设备啊、年级的设计课教育运用这些工具，希望有更好的那个未来的对应这个 AI 的时代。好，谢谢大家。